Mushy.
Hey Jamers, Jones here, back with another video. As you can tell, fall is approaching very quickly. Soon, all the trees will be a bunch of different colors, jack-o'-lanterns will start appearing on doorsteps, flannels will be in fashion. Personally, I think flannels are always in fashion. And you're gonna have an excuse to wear blankets, pajamas, and snuggly boots all day. Not to mention that the season of candy is soon upon us, and Animal Jam is gonna start releasing all sorts of fall and Halloween items. But if you're like me, you don't want to wait that long. I want to start decorating my den and decorating my animals in the spirit of fall as soon as possible. However, sometimes it's hard to draw up inspiration for a holiday that hasn't yet come. So here's what I do right before I start decorating my den and my animals. Use any search engine you want and look up autumn or fall aesthetic. You'll see that generally the fall aesthetic are candles, cute spooky things, flannels, warm colors, plaid, falling leaves, and spices. Now, we're going to want to mimic that on our animals and in our dens. To make a fall den, there are a few key traits that you should follow. Warm, natural tones, avoidance of blue, green, and bright yellow, and emphasis on muted colors. The muted colors are going to make your whole den look more natural. If something is bright orange, it's going to stand out and draw your attention to it immediately. For example, if you use a bright green couch, it's going to stand out in the middle of the room. The point of this den is to make it feel like it's blended together in the calming theme of autumn. What I like to do is take a bunch of furniture that's generally unrelated, because the look I like to go for in my den is kind of mismatched and jagged. Quilted and stitched together things are excellent, as well as items that appear to be rusted or bolted together. I like to use fluffy cushions and lots of tables covered in food. After all, this is the season of Thanksgiving and of harvest time. Speaking of harvest, if you have any items that are fruit or vegetable related, now is the perfect time to display them in a garden. I like to make a fenced-off little garden displaying all my vegetables and all my plants. Since now is harvest season, you can display cherry trees, blooming trees, any kind of tree you want. I try to make it look as farmed as possible and try to put a little pathway in between it. Now for wallpaper, you're going to want to avoid any strong blues. Pinks are okay, but avoid any wallpaper with big pictures on it. You don't want the wallpaper to detract from the scenery. Try to go for textures and muted pastel colors. Wood flooring, scary bat wallpaper, brick wallpaper, pink wavy wallpaper, and tan carpet are some of the things you should definitely consider using. Since I'm a plant person, I always try to incorporate plants into every den I make. However, this is particularly difficult when making a fall den because most of Animal Jam's items have bright flowers on them. Try to look for, again, more muted pastel colors. For example, this chomper plant's leaves have the perfect muted green color. It's not too strong of a green to detract from the overall feel. Another thing I like to use is lanterns and candles. I cannot emphasize how many lanterns and candles you should have. Animal Jam items that appear to be hot or steaming, or if they have fire incorporated on them, are always good for Halloween and autumn dens. You can buy these lamps in the Kambara Outback, and you can buy a fireplace at the trading party. I would also recommend stocking up on seasonal trees. I have like 20, since they change leaves with every season. So no matter what den you're trying to decorate, I guarantee that it will stay within season as long as you use seasonal trees. Another thing I love to use on autumn dens is stone circles because it makes everything look a lot more rustic. The grass is also a faded green color and it's not too bright, so it goes really well. When I want to make a den festive but not too spooky, I try to incorporate some smaller Halloween items. It's best to avoid truly scary things like skeleton drones. Instead, I like to put up garlands of spiders and candy. You can get this candy garland in all sorts of variations from this party. I would highly recommend dropping by and getting a few. I also like to use fog, which was released last year's Halloween party, because it makes everything feel a lot more muted, and if you put it outside of your house, it's gonna feel a lot cozier on the inside. Furniture items with a lot of plush stuffing and desks with a lot of miscellaneous items on them are also perfect. Candelabras are definitely recommended. And remember, if you're worried about an item fitting in because it's not fall themed, you don't have to worry. As long as it's not too bright and flashy, you can definitely put it in your den. The whole point of an autumn den is to create an almost patchwork feel. If you've got a quilted blanket feel going on in your den, you're doing the right thing. Now onto the topic of dressing your animals. Balancing between spooky and festive can be really difficult with the Animal Jam outfits. Fortunately, it's really easy. Scarves, heavy coats of any color, boots, hats, tree branches, warm-toned necklaces, and Halloween clothing items are all recommended. In fact, you can make your outfit as spooky as you want. This is one of the only seasons of the year where it's openly embraced to be spooky and creepy, so I try to use this opportunity as much as possible. Here's a slideshow of some of the animal fashions that you may be able to use. you're all autumned up, it's time to spread the cheer to other people. During autumn, whenever I'm responding to Jamagrams, I try to use Phantom-related stuff. It makes everything a little bit spookier. You can also invite your friends over to your den, or bring them to the hot cocoa hut for a mug of hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is definitely in season now. In fact, I like to dress up my den all spooky and autumny, and then throw a celebration for autumn party. It's a lot of fun, and it gets a lot of people into good cheer. Anyway, I hope you guys are as excited for this season as I am. It's my absolute favorite, and I can't wait for spooky items to start coming out in Jamar. Who's ready for the Night of the Phantom's Bittersweets? Hint, I am. Anyway, Jammers, I hope you enjoyed this video and you got a little bit of inspiration from it. If you want to see more stuff like this, click the like button because every like helps me and encourages me to do more. And if you want to see more content like this, hey, why not subscribe? As always, Jammers, stay safe and jam on. Jones out.